So hello everyone, welcome to this another video of this channel. I'm Abhishek Verma and now we have started watching another special video in which I will be announcing about our upcoming Spring Rest playlist. Now before you get excited and due to that excitement, you just skip this video assuming it is just an announcement video. Let me tell you that in this video itself, you will come to know what is the knowledge prerequisite before starting with Spring Rest. You will come to know which all softwares you should be installing in your laptop before you start with the Spring Rest. Also, you will come to know which all videos and which all topics we are going to cover in this particular playlist. Hence, it means that this video is also very important. Another important thing is that you need to share this video with as many friends as possible. Because as you know, I never ask you for money in order to create this content. And I always say that educational content should be available free of cost. So that means I also don't spend anything on the marketing. And you guys who are learning from my videos, who are watching my videos, are my brand ambassadors. Hence, it is your responsibility to share it with as many as people and promote if you find these are helpful. If you say these are not helpful, then that's a separate thing. So without wasting more time, let's directly get started and see which are the various topics we are going to learn in the upcoming Spring Rest playlist.
So before starting with the Spring Rest roadmap, first of all, let's see the Java developer roadmap. This will give us an idea that where we are when we are going to start with the Spring Rest. So first of all, in the Java developer roadmap, as you know, that we obviously need to start with Java. And yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Java roadmap is going to start with the Java. Yeah, so that's the major point. Then post that, it is going to be Maven, in which we are going to learn about that how we are going to manage the dependencies and everything and all those stuff. Then we will be going with the JDBC. So JDBC, many people say that it's optional, but many say it is mandatory. The main thing is it is going to help you to understand how to make a connection with the database. Although you are not going to use JDBC directly in your applications, and instead you will be taking help of the Hibernate. But in order to get the depth knowledge, you need to go with the JDBC also. Then post Hibernate. So basically in this Hibernate playlist, I have shown you all about the mappings, all the various kinds of inheritance, what is the entity manager factory, session, all these things have been explained in this Hibernate playlist. Then post this, we are going to start with the Spring Boot, and there we have a playlist by the name of Spring Basics with Spring Boot. Trust me, this is one of the best playlists. So many times people have a doubt whether they should start with Spring or they should start with the Spring Boot. So this playlist is going to be the ultimate thing which you only need in order to start with this Spring. So first of all, in this playlist itself, we start with Spring, and then gradually we are going to move towards the Spring Boot. So within a single playlist, you will get everything. Then post that, in the next playlist, that is Spring Data JPA, we are going to learn how to interact with the database but using Spring Boot, and that is Spring Data JPA. It's basically a dependency within the Spring Boot. So that is going to be used here. So as you can see, in Spring Basics with Spring Boot, it is going to show us about the service layer mainly. And in Spring Data JPA, it is going to tell us about the repository layer. Then comes our Spring Rest. So this Spring Rest is the one which we are going to start in the upcoming days. And here we are going to learn about the controller layer, or you can say we are going to understand that how to create APIs. Then once all these things are completed, then we are going to start with the Spring Microservices playlist. And believe me, that is going to be a huge thing. But for that Spring Microservices, you need to be aware of all these basics. You can't say that I want to directly go for microservices and this. Yeah, so that's not going to work. Now, beside this also, there are many more things like JUnit 5, Mockito, Spring Security, Jenkins, deployment on cloud, Docker, Kubernetes, and there can be many more things like AI is also coming, ML is also, IoT is also there. So all those things also you can integrate with the Java and Spring Boot. So those also will come on this channel itself, but in some time. But as of now, the concrete thing is that Spring Rest is going to come, then Spring Microservices is going to come. Then it depends on your support. If you will support, I'll keep on releasing many more playlists also. If you won't support, I will stop after microservices. But till then it is going to be my goal. So that's the thing. I hope this is clear. Now let's go with the next part, that is Spring REST roadmap. So now I will be telling you that what are going to be the various topics, what are going to be the various videos which you are going to see in this particular playlist. If you feel that I have missed any kind of topic, then you can just let me know here. Okay. Then, now first of all, we are going to start with the very basics of it. That is, what do we mean by web services? What is SOAP? What is REST? Whether we should go for SOAP, whether we should go for REST. So all these things will be covered. This one I would say is going to be a little bit of theoretical kind of video. Then in the next video, we are going to dedicate it towards REST only. And again, trust me, this is going to be theoretical, because many times people say that, okay, Abhishek, you don't cover theoretical data much. And I always say that, okay, theory is something which you can generally find on Google, ChatGPT, Gemini, or nowadays DeepSeek. But then still, since we are making a playlist, so this time I have added it, and whatever the theory, so don't feel that I'm covering all the theory in the starting itself. Still, it is in the particular manner only, that okay, step by step we are going to learn the things. So this video is also going to be theoretical. Then the next one is going to be Spring MVC versus Spring REST. So many times people have a doubt that whether we should start with Spring MVC first or we should start with the Spring REST first. So in this video, I will be explaining the architecture of both MVC and REST, and then it is going to be clear to you that okay, which one we should be starting. Basically, this playlist is about Spring REST because that is something more common nowadays. Spring MVC, trust me, we are not going to use so many times in the projects until unless there is an old project and you get that project, then only you need to go for Spring MVC. Otherwise, explicitly, there is no need to learn Spring MVC. You learn Spring REST, and beside this, you learn something like Angular, React, or something if you want to become a full stack developer, and that is going to serve your requirement. Then, once all these three theoretical videos are going to finish, then we are going to start with the practical part, demos part. And the first demo is going to be the various HTTP methods with the help of @request mapping annotation. Now, generally, as of now, it doesn't matter what annotation or what all things are there. The main concern is the HTTP method. So here I will be introducing you with all different kinds of HTTP methods. And trust me, you don't need to worry much. There is no other prerequisite for this. Okay. I mean, you don't need to think that, okay, do I need to be aware of servlets? Do I need to be aware of JSP and all these things? It's not needed. So whatever the prerequisite I have mentioned earlier, only those will be needed, nothing else. Okay. You don't know servlet, no matter. You don't know JSP, doesn't matter. Okay. We can directly start from here. Then we are going to learn about the HTTP specific annotations. And we will see that how we can fine tune the responses. But till now, believe me, these demos are going to be very, very simple. It is just going to be like that you are going to your school for the first day and you are learning ABCD alphabets. Okay. It's going to be that easy. Then we are going to make and enhance it a bit more bigger one. So we are going to see that how our APIs are going to accept the input. So till now in the previous ones, I'm not going to show you how to accept the input. I'm only going to show you the basic stuff. Okay. So that you can get used to with the simple things. And then I will show you that how you can accept the input with the help of request body annotation, one of the major annotations. Then I will show you that how you can accept the input with the help of path variable, then request param, and then matrix variable. So all these different annotations will be covered. There is a specific use case for each and every annotations, and that I will explain you in that particular video only. But as you see, step by step, I'm going to cover. So you don't say that, okay, why Abhishek, why you are not covering that particular thing, or why you are only starting with this particular part. Things are going to come, but you need to remember all these particular things. Yeah. Then post this. So by now we will get used to with most of the things. By this time, you will understand that how you can accept the input, how to make the APIs, and how to provide the output also. So all these things will be on your tips by this point of time. But then the next thing is that how to handle the exceptions. So that we are going to learn here, that how it can be done. Trust me, it's not only about try catch block or try with resources. Beside this also, when we work with the APIs, we need to handle the exceptions even more efficiently. So that I'm going to cover here, and generally that is required. Then the next thing which we are going to do here is the data validation. Okay, so see, till now what used to happen was that we always used to provide the input from the scanner or something like this from our keyboard, but this time I will be saying that okay, this is going to be like your website. Okay, so then anyone can consume your website, so you need to be very sure, you need to be very strict that okay, what kind of data is going to come to your input. So hence we need to validate the data. So I will show you how to validate this data. Now you may say that, okay, Abhishek, why you are keeping data validation at that point of time? Because first of all, see, till this particular initial part, you need to understand that how to accept the input. Till the point, if you don't know how to accept the input, how can you validate something? Okay, that is not possible. First of all, you need to know, then you need to handle exceptions, then you validate. Then bit more enhanced things, we are going to learn about pagination and sorting. So this we will see that, you must have gone through this Google thing. So you just say google.com, there you search for something, you will see that it is going to show you that, okay, there are millions of results for this particular thing. But the thing is, it is not going to show you all those million results on the very first page itself. Only 10 are going to come. Then you click on next, 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 and so on. So that is pagination. We will also see that how to sort the data. So all these things, and believe me, these are some of the basic things which you need to understand in order to say that you know Spring REST. So these are the minimum basic things. Beside this, now in the next page, we will be saying that these are going to be some of the advanced things. So till now, whatever the things I will cover, I will be doing it with the help of JSON. Because JSON is something which is going to be used most commonly in your day-to-day projects, day-to-day applications, until unless you are stuck with some project where you need to work with the XML. So trust me, whatever the concepts I have mentioned till now, everywhere I will be doing it with the help of JSON. But then in this single video itself, I will show you that how instead of JSON, you can do it with the help of XML. All the concepts in this single video, because by this time you will know that okay, what all different things are there, and then you just need to know how to replace JSON with XML. Yep. Then the next thing is actuators. So again, this is something more interesting. I will tell you more about this in that particular video itself, not now. As of now, let it be a surprise. Then we will see that how we can version the APIs. So you see that many times what happens that you download some application, let's say WhatsApp or even YouTube in your mobile phone. Later on, some other version comes, then some other version comes, then some update comes, and all these keeps on coming. So how to manage those kinds of updates or versioning with the help of APIs? So that we are going to cover here different kind of strategies. Yep. Then we are going to learn about the REST template. So till now, you see, we were only creating the APIs which someone can consume. But in the REST template, I will show you that how you can, it is going to be something like there are going to be two applications in front of you created by you only. From one application, you are going to invoke another application. So how to do it? So that we can do with the help of REST template. So that will be shown here. Then in the next one, I will be showing you about course, that is CORS. You can search for the full form and tell me in the comments, because at this point of time, I have forgotten. Okay, but doesn't matter. I will remember it by the time I'm going to make a video for this particular one. And believe me, this is very, very important. Many times people know there is something like Spring REST. People know there is something like Angular React. They try to call this Spring REST with the help of Angular or React, and they fail to do so just because of this simple course issue. It's that important. Just try to understand. Yeah. Then next one is going to be even more interesting. That is about HeatOAS. What is this? We are going to cover in the next video, not today. Okay. So, but it is there. Then we are going to learn about API documentation. Again, this is something in advanced, but you will be able to learn that how you can document your APIs and all these things. Yeah. So that you can just simply show to your managers or a person who doesn't knows the code. So then also this API documentation is going to be helpful. Then we are going to learn about the unit testing. Now here in the unit testing, my goal is going to be to show you that how you can test the controller or the API layer. In the Spring Data JP video, I have already shown you how to test the repository layer. In Spring Basics with Spring Boot, I have already shown you how to test the service layer. So here I will be showing you how to test the controller layer, or you can say the class which is going to contain your APIs. And then comes our final thing, that is going to be our capstone project. So this capstone project is going to be the same Pakistan application which we made at the end of Spring Data JPA as well as at the end of Spring Basics with Spring Boot. So there, if you remember, you can watch those playlists. At the end, there was one big, huge video of capstone project where I brought all the things together in one single video. And that video, I guess, was around 2 hours or 3 hours, that much long. Okay, so that is going to be created at end of this particular also. Same application we are going to download and we are going to enhance it with the APIs. So what you guys can do is that by the time I will be creating videos on other topics, I will be explaining you those topics. You can watch those topics one by one and start implementing capstone project. You can tell me if you are able to create the capstone project before me, and then it may happen that I'll create a video where I'm going to review your code in front of everyone. Okay, so I mean, that is going to be another interesting thing which we can do. I tried to do the same thing in Spring Data JPA. Trust me, none of you supported me, none of you provided me your solutions. Next, going with the next part. So you may want to know that, okay, how it is going to look like, where it is going to stand in terms of application. Okay, I mean, earlier I have mentioned you in terms of roadmap. Now let me show you in terms of the application architecture. So generally what happens that when we say that how an application is going to look in the production, because now at the end of this video in the comments also, I hope that some of you may say that, okay, Abhishek, we want to create a real world application, although you also don't know what is a real world application. So let me just tell you now. So in the real world application, what happens? There is a user, something like this, obviously me. Yeah. Then I'm going to go to a particular user interface. It can be a particular website or it can be anything. It can be a mobile application. It can be a website in itself, but it is going to be a thing here. Yes. So you can take example of YouTube, you can take example of Amazon, or it can be anything, doesn't matter. This user interface is going to be created with your Angular, with your React, or any other UI technology nowadays. Then from there, because it is only going to cover the UI part, it is not going to cover the logic and all those things. For this, it is going to call a particular backend. Now in that backend, we are going to have a class by the name of controller, where our APIs are going to reside, the APIs which we are going to create in this particular playlist. So they will be inside this controller class. So in this playlist, now as you know, we are going to create this controller class only. Before this, we started with Spring Basics with Spring Boot. There I told you mainly about the service layer. So that is this service layer, which contains our business logic, some if-else conditions, some for loops, some you can say some validations and other things. So those we put in the service layer. Then from there, we go to the repository layer, the layer which is going to interact with the database, mainly created with the help of Spring Data JPA when you are using Spring Boot. Otherwise, if you are only using Java, it is created with the help of Hibernate, or your what we can say simple JP also you can say, or you can say it is created with the help of JDBC. And then comes your database. So this is how the overall application is going to look like. Why do we call it as 3-tier architecture? Because you see, this 3-tier only stands for the backend part. So in the backend, it is divided in 3 parts: repository, service, controller. So when I started with Spring Basics with Spring Boot, you guys used to say me that, okay, when we are going to create a full-fledged application, at that point of time, I was actually teaching you about the service layer. Then you guys still told me, we started with Spring Data JP. You said when we are going to make full-fledged application. And I was saying that, okay, at least learn about the repository. And now is the time I'm going to show you about the controller. But then I'm not going to repeat all those basics again and again about the service and repository. Although the common things, the basic things, whichever possible, in short, I will be trying to cover. But if you will say, like just now I was watching, there was a comment from a person. He was saying that, okay, you should be explaining all the JPA mappings and everything. So those are not going to be covered, because that is something which you need to repeat. So it is not possible that you go to your class 10th and then you say that, okay, start teaching me everything which I learned in class 1, class 2, class 3 and so on. Yeah. So that is not going to work. You need to watch the prerequisite playlist for that. Okay. Now comes to the point that what are all those prerequisite knowledge? So let me repeat that particular part. So first of all, we need to start with the basic Java. everyone who is watching this video, who is going to start with this particular playlist, they need to have a knowledge of basic Java. For basic Java, there is no playlist on this particular channel because a simple reason, I feel that you can read it from any college book. In your college, you must be having some college book from where you can simply learn about the basic Java. Another reason is that in order to create a playlist of basic Java, it needs much more dedication, much more time efforts is needed. But as of now, you guys are not watching our videos. I'm not sure that how many views this video is going to get. Believe me, not much. You also can again check the number of views, because most of the times you are not going to share the video with anyone, so it is just going to be somewhere in the bundled in this YouTube world. Okay, so that is going to happen. Then the advanced Java, so again playlist is available on my channel. All the concepts will be used here. Then comes the Maven. So this will be the JDBC, Hibernate, all mappings and everything has been explained. Spring basics with Spring Boot, all the basic terminologies, all the basic annotations, what is IOC, what is dependency injection, what is bean and everything, how to make pom.xml, how to create a Spring Boot project, everything has been already explained there. Now you can't say that, okay, Abhishek, you should be at least telling us how to create a project, how should write a main method. So that should not happen, okay? Then in the Spring Data JP, I have already shown you how to interact with the database. So those layers are done. Now our focus is going to be on the controller layer. And beside this, as I mentioned you, there is going to be a video of unit testing. For that video, JUnit 5 and Mockito knowledge will be required, but that is optional. You can watch it from any other video also, it's fine. Otherwise, you can just skip one video, it doesn't matter, okay? Then post this. Besides this, there are some, what I say as the machine requirements also. So I always say that if you wish, like many times it happens that maybe you are traveling or you are doing some other job and just the mobile is in front of you. So at that point of time, if you want to watch my video, it is fine. You can watch in the mobile, but otherwise you should be watching these videos in a desktop or a laptop. Now, why I'm saying so? Because it's not only about watching the videos. It's also about that parallelly you need to code the things. After watching the videos, how will you test whether you have gained some knowledge or not? You need to download the demo, which I have shown. You need to recreate the things. Then only it is going to be beneficial. Only watching is not going to help you. So that is needed. Anything you can use. I will be using Windows 11 with me. If you have Mac, you can use that. If you have Windows, you can use that. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then the next thing is JDK. So if you want to write the code, if you want to execute the code, you need to have JDK in your machines. I will be doing it with the help of JDK 21. In your machines, you should be having minimum JDK 17. Why I'm saying so? Because let's say you want to create a new Spring Boot project. So a minimum Spring Boot project nowadays requires JDK 17. You go to Spring Initializer, you won't see any other option below JDK 17. So that's why it is required. I will be doing it with JDK 21. Hopefully by this year during the playlist itself, if JDK 24 gets released, then I may create some videos using JDK 24 also at the end, or maybe the capstone project we will do with the help of JDK 24. Then comes the IDE. So for IDE, I will be making usage of Spring Toolsuit, because that is the variant of Eclipse which I will be using. In case you are not comfortable with Spring Toolsuit, you can go for IntelliJ, you can go for Visual Studio Code also. I will be doing it in the dark mode. Now again, for this, some people say, why don't you use IntelliJ or why don't you use Visual Studio Code? Trust me, again, that thing doesn't matter. If you know the basics of Java, and if you know that how to execute, how to run IntelliJ, how to run Visual Studio Code, trust me, whatever I'm going to show you in Spring Toolsuit, you can execute the same thing in IntelliJ. Okay, because it is just a medium. Trust me, guys. Java says that Java is a platform independent language. And now you are saying that, okay, no, we want to depend on a particular software only, that is IntelliJ or Visual Studio Code. So without IntelliJ, without Visual Studio Code, we can't learn Java. That is not possible for us. So don't do like that, okay? You also need to become platform independent. If I'm able to show you in Spring Toolsuit, you should be able to replicate the same in IntelliJ, Visual Studio Code, Eclipse, or whatever the things you have. It is just a platform. Like I'm showing you in Windows, you may watch in the Mac OS or iPhone, it doesn't matter. Do you think it is going to differ if you are going to watch in iPhone or if you are going to watch in the Android? The knowledge is going to come same only. Then the next thing is Postman. So that will be required in order to test the APIs. So any latest version, very soon you will see a video also for this particular one. And then there is going to be a git bash. So this is required so that you can download my demos from the GitHub on all these things. Many times people say that, okay, we are not able to download the demos, but trust me, these are simple and you can easily download. If you say I can make a small short video also on that particular thing, then we need to interact with the database because it's a real world application as you want. So for this, a database server will be required. So I will be using MySQL. You can go for MySQL or PostgreSQL, doesn't matter. Then database GUI, so I will be using dweaver. You can make usage of MySQL Workbench or pgadmin, both are fine. The only issue is that MySQL Workbench is more compatible with MySQL. pgadmin is more compatible with PostgreSQL. dweaver says I'm compatible with both. So that's the reason I will be using dweaver here. Yeah. Then next, besides this, there are 3 more requirements. And these are Parampara, Pratishtha, and Anushashan. So you must have seen this movie. You can tell me the name of the movie in the comments. Okay. And you can see. So in that video, Amitabh Bachchan says that, okay, for that Gurukul, these 3 things are important: Parampara, Pratishtha, Anushashan. And I say that if you want to learn Spring Boot or anything with me, then the 3 important things are, that is first of all, patience, because our playlists are long. The reason why these playlists are long is because I'm trying to cover all the topics which are going to be required by you. It's not that I'm like any other YouTuber. I will just showcase you a very simple example and then I will tell you, okay, now you are an expert of Spring REST. The moment you will land to the actual production code, you won't be able to code if you will watch or if you are going to learn in that particular way. So you need to be patient enough and you need to learn the particular things dedicatedly. And that's the second thing which we need: dedication. You need to watch all the videos. You need to code the things. It's not possible that you will say that I will just watch one single video, then I'm not going to watch, but I will become Spring expert or Spring REST expert. That is not going to work. And the third thing is support. You need to support me. Otherwise, if you are not going to support, you are not going to watch the videos, then what's the purpose of making these videos? Like, I will make this video, I will get after 2 days 10 views only. What will I do with only 10 views there? I know that even those 10 views are important, but only 10 views, like, it doesn't matter, okay? So you need to support me, otherwise I will lose my patience and my dedication. Okay, so that's the reason, guys. So both of us need to be patient, dedication, and support. Then now the main question comes: when are we going to start with this? So the very first video of Spring REST is going to be released on 22nd February. So that is the day from where we are going to basically start our playlist. Before this, you will say that, okay, before this, there is 19th of February also. So what is going to happen on that? On that particular day, I will be going to show you a video where I'm going to download and install Postman. So that will be shown, and this Postman is required. So if you don't want to work with the Postman, you can go with the SOAP UI also. But then it will be more better if you will see this video, if you will download and install it, because again, it is free of cost. And then it will be easy for you to go through the demos also later on. Yep. So this is very important here. And please watch on my channel only. Don't watch on any other channel, so that I can also at least get some views. Then after this, 22nd of February, again on every Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m, a new video is going to come. So that means every week, 2 videos. Now you will say that, okay, Abhishek, you should increase your speed. Doesn't matter, okay? Because believe me, the length of the videos was going to be big. So it may happen that some of the videos are going to be like 10 minutes long only. But then there can be some videos which are going to be 30 minutes or even 1 hour long. So in that case, what you need to do is, if you say, I can't watch 1 hour long video on same day itself, same time itself, then what you can do is watch 20 minutes on Wednesday, 20 minutes on Thursday, next 20 minutes on Friday. And then the moment you will come on Saturday, you will get my new video. Again, watch 20 minutes on Saturday, 20 minutes on Sunday, 20 minutes on Monday, and Tuesday you can rest. So one rest day you can take during the whole week. Rest of the days, just keep on watching 20 minutes of the video. and that's it. And that is again your pace. If you wish, you can watch 30 minutes. If you wish, you can watch 10 minutes. If you wish, you can do binge watch also. But just one main thing which you need to do is, the moment I release the video, at that time itself, at least start watching the videos, like it, and start sharing it with others, so that YouTube algorithm feels it's a good video and it will start sharing with others. Because you are only my audience, you are only my brand ambassadors. There's no one else. Okay. And the next thing is that in the meantime, you can also plan to watch existing playlist. So if you say you don't know about Spring Data GP, watch that particular thing. If you don't know about Spring Basics with Spring Boot, watch it. If you don't know anything, other things also. So start watching all those things. Yeah. So that is the main, guys. I hope you find this video helpful, and very soon, as you see, we are going to start with it. So all the best and see you in the upcoming videos. Thanks everyone. Bye.